Welcome to the 10th Congressional Republican Party. On January 8, 2024, at an event for Christina Caraumo, Barbara Zimmer, and Mark Forton, were asked why did they vote at an unsanctioned meeting to remove Christina as chair of the party. As is normal, the Michigan Republican Party formed a circular firing squad on the previous Saturday. The mainstream deep state news media had a field day with the news. At the January 8th meeting, both Barbara and Mark were given the opportunity to explain why they voted at an unsanctioned meeting to remove Christina. Barbara Zimmer, to her credit, attempted an answer. Mark Forton refused to speak.
The next question is actually for the District 10 chair. If the District 10 chair chooses to answer, they may. What is the point of precinct delegates if you decide to vote out a duly elected chair of the party at an illegal meeting, even though she had 57% of the delegates' votes?
There is a lot of information that only certain people have been able to find and get to know about.
Would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. My name is Barbara Zimmer. I am the 10th District Chair. Thank you. Thank you. I'm one person who likes to hear. That's great. Thank you very much. When I started hearing and I'll be very brief, thank you very much. When I started hearing some people speaking about situations, I really didn't understand it. I had to find out for myself because I love my people. I love the people in the 10th. I've known a lot of them for many, many years. And I thought, well, this can't be true. I'm concerned about things. So I investigated for months and months. I listened to everyone. Because you can't figure it out from just one side. I listened to every side. I looked at everything. And then when I was chair, I was listening to other areas. Every area I could find. And I'm finding things that I never dreamt I would ever hear. So, and you've got to realize, and I said this to Christina, and she knows, this is the woman that I hugged every time I saw her. So, in Macomb County, she is very important to us, and she still is important to us as a person. You know, Christina. This is not, so let's not read this. There's a gentleman right here that is protecting me from people interrupting. Is that right, sir? So anyway, you have to be looking for situations and information. And I found what I thought I found what I didn't want to find. So many people found things. Now, Christina can explain things. And Mark Forton, the county chair, is very good at explaining things. And I like Christina personally. She's gifted. But there are some things, for instance, in the Kalamazoo. What's a shame is that they have that serious problem there. However that came about, I wasn't around that. I don't know how many people even know how that started. But the chair went down to help, and somehow it ended up that there was a court situation. Do you know that she has a judgment for her by a judge? And what's a shame is that I don't know that she meant to have a problem, but there are several things that are happening over and over and over again in our state Republican Party. There are a lot of things, and I'm not going to continue with this, but that is why many people are very concerned about the leadership of our party and some of the other people that have been associated with Christina. I don't know that there are just it's very, very concerning. And that party, she keeps, with all due respect, she keeps saying that it's illegitimate. But there is an article, and I don't know the letter and number with it, that the other lawyers say is legitimate. So that is why it was done. And remember, at the other meeting that was called, we hadn't had any information at state committee meetings about budget for months, for several meetings. Nothing, literally zero information. So we really expected to get it there on the December 2nd meeting. We all were expecting to go there and get information. And so when it became virtual, that means that there's no talking to each other. There's no dialogue. You know what it's like when you're on your computer. Is there 100 people that can ask questions? Are there people who, when you got 16 people on for Zooms and things that I do, it's hard to ask questions. You can't do that with 100 people. And that's why that other meeting was called. And there were questions asked, and there were statements made, and there was dialogue. Anyway, there's a lot to find out, and the newspapers have had information. That's all I can tell you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Christina, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Yes?
There's a follow-up question to the question. Did you ask your delegates before you did what you did, if you care so much about them?
Thank you for asking me that question. That is an excellent question. According to the bylaws,
Which bylaws?
Excuse me. According to the bylaws, if there has been no notice of participation, of sending me a note that they're not coming, of any chair, then when it was deadline just before the meeting, because I thought Darlene and Sandy were coming. Someone had said they were coming, so I thought they were coming. But it ends up, the meeting was getting ready to start. They weren't there, 4 people weren't there. So, according to the bylaws, if you can find the proper people to take those, that is the question. But according to the bylaws,
Why are she allowed to talk and nobody else?
Well, okay,
sir,
well, hold on, let me say this, if I may. Let me take this just so people can understand. No, I'm sorry.
I don't need to address
Okay,
it.
let me say this.
Sir, do you see this?
Well, here's what occurred. I understand what she's saying. The reason why there was a question directed specifically to Barb, that's why she came up and answered it. So I understand. Next one.
Would you like a rebuttal?
Well, I would just say that with the special meeting, people were informed. There were multiple reasons that our emails to all the precinct delegates were made the request initially invalid. They asked an initial request that the admin that the coalition vice chair the meeting, that the 8th district chair is the secretary. That is a complete violation of the bylaws. And what I think is wrong is that individuals look for loopholes to try to throw out the chair instead of doing the honorable thing and saying, we as a committee want to take it to a vote, we want to make sure it's above board. Because if I'm removed as chair legally, I will say God bless and I'm still going to fight for our country. But it's the sneakery, it's the let's find loopholes, let's find little nooks and crannies so we can justify having 45 people, 37% of the committee vote. And there's so many bylaw issues and violations that occurred. But again, this will be settled with the committee.
Okay, so one of the multiple delegates are here that are Barb's delegates, and I would like one of the delegates who was replaced with a proxy against her will to have a chance to speak.
Well, the only reason why I'm saying is this young lady here, she asked me, she expressed that she wanted to speak, so I guess you guys are the facilitators, I just don't want anybody to feel like they're being disenfranchised or something.
Let her speak.
Okay.
No. So there you go.
All right, next question.
Next question. Mark Forton should explain to us why he is against Christina Caramo, please.
Brandon, he waved his hand, he doesn't want to say. Yeah, he waved his hand.
Okay, fair